everyone, this is Ramona coming back at you. Okay, so today I want to really talk about eating disorders. Okay, so I quickly wanted to really throw this out there because usually I get these topics and in my head, and then these really awesome topics to talk about, and then a day or so will pass and then I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. So I just want to quickly throw this one out there. Okay, so it is kind of personal because I'm going to reference to my own life. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know a YouTuber called Trisha Paytas. I just assume that people know who she is because she's so big on YouTube. But actually, it's kind of weird because I find out that no, a lot of people don't know who she is. So I don't know, and they are active on YouTube. So it's just really, really odd. But anyways, so she had made a video. About her having an eating disorder, and everybody knows that she is overweight. She's been consistently overweight. She's been extremely active lately with dancing. She's been like that for, I don't know, a few months now. Yeah, about a few months she's been dancing. You can actually see that she's more toned. She's more, she has a lot more energy. She has no issues with bouncing around. She gets around and she's an amazing dancer. But she is overweight. And so she had made a video about her having an eating disorder. And I also want to say that there's another YouTuber on here that I really enjoy. So I'm not going to mention her name. But she had, I watched her video and she doesn't agree that Trisha Paytas has an eating disorder because she is a consistent viewer of Trisha Paytas, just like I am, and she sees how Trisha goes to, the reason why you're fat is because you are constantly eating. Every video that Trisha does, there's eating to be had in the video. So big eating, they go out to these really nice restaurants and they're just going to town. They buy, it looks like they buy half of the menu and then they take in. It literally looks like that, because Trisha will go, with a bunch of people, not even a lot of people, 3 people, and it'll be gourds of food, so I don't know. But the point is that Trisha had said that she had an eating disorder, and other people, oh damn, hello, who is it? Oh, so maybe it was the neighbor knocking on somebody else's door. So anyways, where was I? I'm gonna have to edit that out. Okay, so yeah, this other YouTuber says, and she's not the only one who says that Trisha Paytas and other people like her, they don't have eating disorders. They just have lack of control. They have no willpower. They have none of that. You know what I mean? And I'm here to confirm, well, at least give you my side of my story and what my opinion is on that. Let me start off by saying that I feel that I do have an eating disorder, and I am almost 300 pounds. And it is really hard. Food is my continuous battle. I don't think that there's not many times throughout the day that I'm not thinking about food. Whether I'm thinking, I don't know, I feel like I'm in a relationship with food, and and it's an abusive relationship. It's a very unhealthy relationship, you know, like where the food is the dominator and I'm the submissive, and I'm like always trying to like please the food, please the food. You know what I mean? I'm gonna explain that. There's not that many points in the day that I'm not thinking about food, but it's not like, oh my god, I want to eat this, I want to eat that. It's more like, what should I eat today? Should I eat like, I should like have this for breakfast, that for lunch, that for dinner, or should, like, I'm constantly thinking about some kind of diet plan that I should be eating, and it's like every single day. And I'm so glad I'm making this video. I'm so glad that I'm making it, because like I'm making some realizations for myself as well, like when it comes to me and this food thing, you know. Yeah, like I'm always constantly thinking about different diets and stuff like that. And it's not just thoughts and ideas. I actually jump on the bandwagon and I try this diet and that one and that one and that one and that one. And it's really difficult for me to lose weight, which I've just found out why, because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which makes it like really, really hard for you to like lose weight. But I think that there's like multiple things going on with me that is stapled onto why I can't, you know, lose weight. And I think that an eating disorder is something that's very, very real for me. And it was so weird. I'm like shaking. Oh my god. Oh my god. That should show you something right there. That me thinking about food, it brings out the anxiety in me. And I was actually shaking just now. Like, did you hear the quiver in my voice? I don't know if you heard that. But I'm not joking. Like, it's all day with me. I'm thinking about food. And it's not about wanting to eat. It's more like, how do I organize this food? How am I supposed to eat? You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to eat throughout the day? Like, am I supposed to eat 3 meals a day or many meals throughout the day like everybody says? Or should I try this or should I try that? It's like ongoing all day long. Like, I can't, it's like something I can't control it. It's like a physical mind of its own. Like, you know, it sits right here, and a brain of its own, and it just goes and thinks on its own. Like, you know what I mean? It's always thinking about food. And it's crazy. And I don't even, like, here's the thing, like, I don't know. And I don't feel like, and I definitely, it has nothing to do with not having willpower. Let me tell you about my willpower. I can go on a very strict regime of eating, a very small amount of food, like 500 calories a day. And I've done that consistently for like a really, really long time. And I really don't lose that much weight. It's weird because, like I said, I have the PCOS. But I have also not eaten for an entire week, and I've only drank, what was that drink that I used to, the lemonade diet. I tried the lemonade diet, which actually does work. You know, I might go on that again, I don't know. But I haven't eaten for 7 days. 7 days. Not like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about, oh, I haven't eaten all day, but I had like a few grapes. No, nothing. I had no food, none, for 7 days long, okay? I've done that. When I was younger, from the age of 13 up until I was 20 years old, I was anorexic. That's like a whole different story in itself, but I will quickly like recap with that. like when throughout those years, I figured out why I was anorexic. You know, I don't want to go through the obviously people who are anorexic, you know, they mentally can be, and it lays dormant, and then things in your life that happen can awaken that thing about you, that being anorexic, anorexia nervosa, it can awaken it. You know what I mean? So if you're living your life nice and happily and da da da, but then something happens where it jolts you, like, and you have an anxiety that comes about, you know, other things happen that go hand in hand with that. For me, it was anorexia, and then also it had an OCD. I would spend literally an hour washing my hands in the sink and not even know that an hour would go by. And I would only know that an hour to go by when I was just like, after I washed my hand, I'd be like really, really tired, or like my entire show would be over. Like it's like an hour long movie. I'm like, what? I missed it? Like I just came to wash my hands. Like, I'm not joking. And then anorexic, and you know, so there was just like a lot of stresses in high school, and that were going on in my life. Just a lot of things that were going on, and that it was out of control, and I couldn't control them. And so because my world was being so shooken and shaken, and I had such an anxiety with it, I think that, well, at least for me, everybody needs a measurement of control. Somehow, some way, you need a measurement of control in your life. Everybody needs that. And for some people, it comes out very normal. Other people, it comes out in a different funky way. Okay, and for me, it came out in a funky way. And my control was to exercise for like 6 hours a day, and then to also control my food. Like, I started, you know, controlling. I was exercise freak, like freakishly, like I don't like to call myself a freak, but like, okay, so I was exercising excessive a lot, and then also I was controlling my food, and I was like that from age 13 all the way up to I was 20. And the reason why that I got out of that, the reason why I stopped being anorexic was because I got pregnant with my first child, and my doctor, this is how bad my eating disorder was. My doctor begged me to abort the child because she just knew that I was going to starve myself, which of course it meant starving my baby. But I don't know, things happen for a reason, and I was just basically on the verge of, like, my life at that point was just so, I was homeless basically, and I was living from friend to friend's house, and you know, like, it was just really crazy. It was like things were really out of control, and the only thing I can control in my life was exercising and that food intake. And then I also started picking out cigarettes. I started smoking a lot because people told me that smoking will help with your appetite and to not eat. And then also I started drinking a lot. Puerto Rican rum, the 151 gold proof. That was my drink back in the day. I used to drink a lot. I was a bad girl. But yeah, so I was just like going through it, and I got pregnant, having too much fun. I got pregnant, and my doctor had said, you really need to abort your child. Like, she said it in a different way, like, but like, not really. She just came straight out, and yeah, she just came straight out and said that, like, you need to abort your child, basically, because please, you can't have this. But you know what? I proved her wrong. I proved her wrong. like something snapped in me. Like all of a sudden, I'm not gonna go like all throughout my, that thing, but like it's like all of a sudden, I had a responsibility, and all of a sudden I cared and had a love for a life other than my own. And it's my job as a mother to protect that life and to not harm it, and to do the best that I can by that life that's inside me. So I remember going to the restaurant, which is like actually right down the street here. Different owners now. But I remember leaving from my doctor's appointment, and I said, you know what, I'm going to show. I'm not going to abort my baby. And I went to the restaurant. I ordered the biggest sub. I swear to God, I remember seeing the sub, and it was so much food. I felt like, because I'm not used to eating. Well, then I wasn't used to eating, so like the sub looked like it was larger than like, I was like, oh my God, it's so big. There's so much meat. Look at all the food. I look at it like, oh my God. But like I sat there, and guess what? Like I forced myself to eat the entire thing. Like, but here's the messed up thing. Like, but while I was eating it, because I ate it in the restaurant, I was crying, like bawling, crying, like profusely crying into my sub, like because I was doing something that was such against every fiber of my being, which is eating, which actually saved me. I felt like mentally not eating saved me, because that was my control that I had. And here I am, like stripping myself away from that control and replacing it with something different, which is, okay, you don't have that control anymore, but you do have a responsibility to protect the life that's within you. And that was what snapped me out of my eating disorder. That eating disorder. So as the 9 months go by, I'm like pigging out. Oh my God, I'm pigging out. Like, can I tell you? So like when I started, I'm 5 feet 8 inches, okay? I'm 5 feet 8. That's pretty tall for a woman. And well, yeah, so I was like really young then. So I'm 5'8", and I was like, I think I was like 115. Yeah, I was 115 pounds. I more than doubled. By the end of my pregnancy, I more than doubled. I was like 250 pounds. I'm not joking. 250 pounds that I gained. That's over twice my body weight. I was just like, and I think so. I lost my control. I'm responsible for this new life, and the thing that I needed for myself was some comfort. And now food has turned into my comfort. And there is nothing more fabulous. Like, there's nothing more motherly feeling and protective than having your stomach filled to the brim with something that's hot, like hot, warm food. It's such a relaxing, comforting hug. It feels like a nice, warm hug. It feels like love. It feels like care. It feels like you don't have to be anxious anymore, because I feel really content and stress-free and relaxed, and like I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be okay. And that's when I feel my stomach kind of like brim full, especially with nice hot food, like brim full, that's what food means to me. And so I realized that like for like as I'm older now, like I mindlessly live that way. You know what I mean? Like I like there's days like a day where I don't eat all day. I don't eat all day. You know what I mean? But I know that the food is coming and it's gonna be a nice warm ball of food, delicious to fill me up. I know it's coming. Like you put me on a diet, I'm like, oh, panic mode, panic mode. Hold on to my breath until it's over. You know what I mean? And how long can you hold your breath until your diet is over? Nobody can hold their breath that long. Like nobody can hold your breath that long. And so what happens? Well, people who have an eating disorder, for real, an eating disorder, an obese eating disorder, holding your breath that long, or having somebody rip that comfort away from you, is totally scary. It's like quitting smoking. It's like giving up caffeine. It's like changing one addiction over to another kind of addiction. Because like, do you know what I mean? Like eating healthy for long term forever is like an addiction that I feel like that's a new kind of addiction. You know what I mean? But it's just hard to like move over from one over to the other, like to transition. Like you're ripping that thing that always created comfort for me. You're ripping that away from me and trying to get me to do something that's completely different, and it's scary. And it's not that I have no willpower, but I think it's more of an emotional and mental thing. Like that's my baby. You're like trying to take away from me that full tummy that with warm food. Like you're trying to take away that one thing that for years and years and years and years, you know, that has brought me comfort. And then even before that when I was anorexic, I had like that food, and I was like battling it out, like, you know what I mean? Like, but now that food and I have become friends, best friends, you want to rip that away from me to try something new, you know what I mean? So I just want to say that like people who are overweight and who can't help themselves not to stop eating, it is an eating disorder. It is an eating disorder. People just, you know, they're wired that way. People are born, that might be a bit of a dispute. Some people say that they're not born with anxiety, but that they learn to be anxious because of things that happen in their life. But I don't feel that that's true, because like people who have anxiety, like one group of people who have anxiety, right, they will go kind of nutcase trying to handle that business, right? But if the same thing happened to this group over here, they know how to buckle down, and they you know, they may be like, oh my god, this has to be taken care of. We have to take care of this. We have to take care of this. But then they go ahead and take care of it, and it's fine. They're not like, you know, they might even feel exhilarated of having to take on a job, like they have to take this, you know. Where this group where I'm in, and people who have eating disorders are in, you know, like the anxiety is there, like, oh my god, I can't handle it, like, oh my god, okay, so we're handling it, but like the trip to get there, to handle its end, is like just way too much. So I just want to say that for me, I feel that people who are obese, if they say that they have an eating disorder, it's not coming from just let me eat and don't give me a hard time because I have an eating disorder. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? It's not all about that. And I'm not blaming people for thinking that way, like that I just said, because I'm not one who will say, do not ever put a label on yourself, because it kind of boxes you in from ever trying, you know. That's my basis mentality. But like sometimes you just have to give in to how your mind is wired. Like the older I get, like the more that I have to like accept this is who I am. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a person who's like shy, right? The majority, 99% of us would look at that shy person and say, okay, well, you know, you're shy because of all these things that happened to you, okay? That's why you're shy. But the reality is that that person may have been born with a type of personality that just makes them shy, and they could tweak themselves in to the best that they can be, which is to be able to get up on the stage and read a speech or be in a play and do the things that they have to do in front of others. They probably can do that, but they're never going to be that boisterous, outgoing, star of the party. That person is where it's the party's at, wherever she goes type of person. She will never be that type of person, because she's just mentally born with a personality as well that to be shy. You know what I mean? That's just, you know. So like for the eating disorder, like people are just born with a certain thing that they have to live with. You know, you have to know thyself in order to adapt and to tweak the best that you can be, but also to not get down on yourself when you can't perfect it. You know, trying to change who you really are. And I was just born with this, I don't even know what to call, but the response to it, to how I've been born, is eating disorder. That was one of the things, the funky things that grew out of the crap. you know, you know. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Like, it's my VR to, like, I don't know if I want this to be in VR. We'll see.